Big welcome to you, Annet Nakkazi. It's very good to have you on the channel DileX123 Explorations. How are you doing, Anne?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's such a pleasure. And my name is Nakkazi, not Nakkazi. But it's okay. I mean, I can excuse you for that.
Languages and pronunciations in those languages. So, yeah.
I know. Yeah, but I'm very good. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you are too. And thank you so much for having me.
I'm doing very fine as well. We would like to, go straight to the point to get to know you, what you do. And most of the scholarships that you benefited from, we'd like you to share that with other students around the world. So if you don't mind, you can just quickly begin.
Oh, thank you so much. So I should start with what I do and who I am, right?
Yeah, so I would like to know who you are and then what you do. Yeah, okay, basically.
So I am a Ugandan. I was born in southern Uganda, and currently I am a lecturer at one of the universities here in Uganda. It's called Uganda Christian University, where I teach cancer development and its treatment, mainly with radiotherapy. And alongside that, I also work as an intern at Ashinaga Foundation, where I mainly support Japan-bound students. That's what I do mainly. I mean, currently, yeah, but I'm still a student because I still have to go back to finish my education. Yeah, that's the brief intro. Anything else I've left out?
There was this interview you had on the Super Soul Sisters where you spoke about the small village from, and you spoke something small about the village, that it was kind of, a poor village, but you're able to kind of make it out of there. How is that really possible? Was that really difficult making it out of there? Was it easier? How was it for you trying to make it out of that village to where you are now? Because you are mostly known for the scholarship that you've had, right?
Mm.
Yes. Move from that village to pursuing all these amazing scholarships abroad. How's the journey kind of been like for you?
Yeah, that's really interesting. In my, early years when I was younger, it wasn't that easy. It was hard. It was hard, Of course, I went to these government schools, but, those are not the best schools, you can go to and get whatever you want. Understand? And then, even the home, I was coming from, we were not rich at all. So it wasn't, that easy for a student to eat properly or have access to all the basic needs like electricity, water, soap and all that. It wasn't that easy. It was something that was hard, but you learn things over time. Just to get to understand that, oh, I don't have this, but then I can have them at a stage. You understand? So you work hard, towards getting those things by yourself. So I just had to work hard. And I think even the personality matters, because when I was a younger person, I didn't care so much about, how much I had, but I cared so much, on what I can get after my education. If I work so hard, what can I have? What can I own? What can I buy by myself without asking somebody else to buy it on my behalf? You understand? So I wasn't so disturbed by the situation I was in, but it was always at the back of my mind to understand that, okay, this is not the best situation I should live in. So I should work hard to get, to a better position or in a better condition. And that's what I did. For scholarships or getting opportunities, it was, let me say, a miracle. I grew up in a village. I didn't know anybody who studied abroad. I didn't know anybody. So I don't know, but I was at my high school. I was called to go back to teach biology, chemistry, and mathematics, high school students. Can you hear me?
Name of your high school?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was called back to my high school, which is called Kaboko Secondary School. After my high school, I went back to work as a junior teacher, where I taught biology, chemistry, and mathematics. And while there, I got this phone call from my friend. This friend of mine was actually bowler, you know. He was the goalkeeper. And remember that I was the head games and sports prefect. So, you know,
Okay.
I had that, you know, that connection with all the bowlers, all the net bowlers, volleyballers, you know, footballers. So I was their friend. So I had to take, you know, their problems to the master, sports master, and all that. So we understood each other. We gelled so well. So I was, you know, in the class teaching, and I got a phone call from him. I was like, Annette, you just finished high school. I'm sure you worked well. There's a scholarship here. You need to apply for it. After all, satisfy all the, you know, all the requirements. You have all, satisfy all the conditions. Just come and apply. I was like, okay, good. I had traveled that night. I traveled and I went to the district I've never gone to, I've never been to. That was my longest distance in my life ever since I was born. And I went, did the interviews, passed them, and that's how I got my scholarship, my first scholarship. And then from there, I went to Japan. I went to Japan and I did the biological sciences at the University of Tsukuba. And then from there, I got another scholarship and I went to the UK where I just finished my master's degree in radiation biology at the University of Oxford. So the second scholarship and the first scholarship just, you know, portrays that it's about people. If there is somebody who wishes you good, and if there's the opportunity, they will always forward that opportunity to you. You understand?
Very true. But what was the name of the foundation that gave you the first full scholarship to study in Japan? And if you say a full scholarship, does it mean that you didn't pay any Ugandan money, as in you didn't pay anything at all, and that everything was really catered for? Because, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to believe that a friend everything for you like that. So was
Yeah.
that what it means? First
Yes.
of all, I want to know the nation, and then also, does the full scholarship mean that you didn't pay anything at all
Yeah.
throughout?
Yeah.
So you can talk about.
I got so the scholarship I got is called Ashinaga Africa Initiative. That is the scholarship that is given to one student per country in sub-Saharan Africa. So after getting that scholarship, they paid for my flights to go to Japan. They paid for my application fee for the course I was applying for in Japan. All the universities, I applied to 2 universities and they paid for the application fee and all that. Then they provided stipend, monthly stipend. And then in Uganda, I had the insurance, not the insurance, but they were paying for my medical bills. When I joined the organization, they were paying for my medical bills, they were feeding me. And then I didn't have a passport because I grew up in a village. I mean, what's the importance of a passport anyway? So they purchased my passport. Yeah, they purchased my passport, and then they made sure I had all my academic documents. They basically paid for everything, everything from zero to everything. Yeah, everything.
This was really amazing. And the fact that they consider just a single person from the whole country, that should be highly competitive, eh?
Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. In other countries, actually, where? Oh yeah, we can just leave that part out. It's not that important. Yeah, but that's really
Okay.
amazing. Yeah. Then for the second scholarship, it's the Common Wealth Scholarship for my master's degree. Yeah, I got that when I was at the University of Tsukuba, and still again, I was helped by Ashinaga Foundation, my undergraduate sponsors. They helped me, and then getting references from my professors. I have lovely professors. I don't know if there's any person who has cool professors or cooler professors than mine, but I think I have the best anyway. But
Really?
yeah, I think I have the best professors. So they wrote, really good recommendation letters, and then hard work. Then combined, with the University of Oxford, they accepted to pay that, that remaining part because it's an agreement between the Commonwealth and then the university. You understand?
Okay.
So yeah, we were able to, to make it out. And then my friends, my best friends, who were able to help me out, to do the interviews, practice with me, and all that. Yeah, so that's how it was. And for the Commonwealth as well, you get the flight. For the Commonwealth, the benefits are less compared to the Ashinaga Foundation benefits. Yeah, for the Commonwealth, you get, but I think it depends on, on maybe what you want and all that. You get the flights in and out of the country of destination, and then, to and fro, English. And then you get the stipend, monthly stipend. For the insurance, no, but since you are a Common Wealth scholar, you get that free and NHS charge, something, the 54
Okay.
charge, something like that. Yeah. Well, I never fell sick, so I didn't really understand what that was, but I think you are treated charge, and they also pay for your visa, and then they pay for excess luggage. If you have any excess luggage, they pay for that. That's what I know about the benefits.
So it means that the two scholarships that you benefited from were first the Ashinaga for your degree or your bachelor's program in biological sciences. And the second was the Common Wealth Scholarship, which caused you to pursue your program in radiation biology at Oxford University, right? Aside these two, any others for degree, any other scholarships for degree, and then also for master's program that which you like to talk about? Maybe you can just kind of mention the names and viewers can check them out if you know of any other ones aside this one.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for mentioning that. In Japan, I know there is a government scholarship that is given to students who are going to do their bachelor's, but I think these are country specific and field specific. They are provided by the Japanese government, and then there are scholarships that are provided by the university itself. And then there are scholarships that you can get after recommendation, from the university. For example, JICA scholarships. By the way, when I was at the University of Tsukuba, I got, a JICA scholarship for, not JICA, JASO. It's called JASO scholarship for 6 months. I had really.
Can you for us, because the pronunciation and can you help us spell the JASO?
Just, I think Japan Association something. I don't know how it ends, but Japan Association something. Yeah, so I got that scholarship. I think I had really, a high GPA. So they gave it to me for 6 months, and that was really good because, I reduced on the time I spent on doing the part-time job because I was, spending more time, to increase on my stipend. So getting that, just a scholarship saved me a lot, because the next semester, my GPA, oh my goodness, elevated like crazy. And I was like, I got this. So that can also be, an advantage. And then for masters, there are so many scholarships, chevening scholarships, Rhodes scholarships, but these are age limited and they have different requirements, but of course, if you go to Google and just ask, scholarships to study, in the UK, they will always come up. Scholarships to study in Japan, they will always come up, and sometimes it requires you to contact the university to know available scholarships. For the US, I'm not so familiar with that, with that region or that continent. Yeah, I'm more familiar with Europe and Japan. And then there is this Erasmus. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's Erasmus. Yeah, if you search about it, you can always understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, basically that.
Yes, Erasmus scholarship. Okay, so I believe understand that you can just also go on Google and then enter scholarship for master's programs or scholarship for degree programs. You check the eligibility statuses. If you do qualify for them, then you can go ahead and apply for that, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Good. Now talking about the application for masters, it's very important that students integrate their statement of purpose or their personal statement. I saw on your channel, you talked about your personal statement, which caused you to get your admission at Oxford University. Are there any specific points that you think that students should kind of employ in writing their personal statements, which is going to cause them to kind of increase their chances of being admitted or getting admission or qualifying for admission in the universities that they want to apply to?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for asking that. From my point of view, it depends on the level level of education you're applying. So if you're applying for bachelor's, that's a different case. Master's, different case. PhD, different case. If we start with the bachelor's, it's important to first see what the course is all about. And then after seeing that, you write in line with what the course can provide. If you can tell them why, specifically, why you want to study that. And for bachelors, they want it when you mention why that university. Why that university? Why that degree, and what you want to do in the future? Because when you're applying for a specific course, let me say biology, it doesn't mean that you're gonna become a medical doctor if you don't, maybe be like, okay, after this, maybe I'll join a medical school and all that. You understand? It's not a straight path. So you have to make things clear. And you also have to, to have some, things you do outside academics. Yeah. So I think the points that shouldn't miss out. Yeah, I think those are the points that shouldn't miss out for bachelors. But for masters, I think, you also have to be specific on what you want to study. Of course, for bachelors, you don't really have to be specific because that's a foundation for you. From there, you're gonna choose. For masters, being specific, is really important, but it depends on the type of masters you're gonna do. Are you gonna do a taught or a research-based masters? So that also differs. From my point of view, a research-based masters is more like the same, is almost the same as the application for the PhD. But for the taught one, it's different because you're going to have about a few months to do your research. So that way, you might not actually have to contact your supervisor initially. But for research, you contact your supervisor first, and then you write the application together, because your supervisor must know what you're writing. And if what you're writing matches what he's doing or what she is doing. So that's the difference I see. But show passion for what you want to study. Show why it's important, and then tell them what you want to do in the future. They want to see. I mean, if this person graduates, what are they planning to do? So indicate what you want to do after your graduation or in the future. But of course, it should be in relation to what you're going to study. Yeah.
Okay, so.
And then, wait, sorry. I forgot to let you know that it's important to demonstrate your experience, what you've done so far. I mean, what makes you the best candidate? So talk about what you have done, maybe internships, or some voluntary work, but it should be pertaining to the course you're applying for, and show the skills you learned from there. For example, I interned with this organization. I learned that maybe this is like this and this and this. So they see that, oh, she's good at critical thinking. Oh, she's good at organization skills. Okay, she's good at this. She's good at communication. You understand? By mentioning them, it shows that.
Oh, that great. You spoke about the extracurriculars, that is other activities that students should kind of engage themselves in whilst they are still in school. Are there any specific extracurriculars that you think, in your view, this is a personal question. So are there any special extracurriculars that you think that all students should at least do?
From my point of view, nope. They shouldn't be limited to one. They should do, a variety of things they do love. And these actually can only be mentioned on your CV. In your personal statement, doesn't really matter unless you're applying for a sports course. But if not, I don't expect you to brag about or talk so much about your curricular activities, in your personal statement. Of course, it's something personal, but I drive it more. I bring that first paragraph about myself, and then I go to the academic area of the subject. I don't go into those extracurricular, but I mention them on my CV. So you can do anything and just tell them what you've learned from them, what that has taught you. So it depends on what you have and what you've done. But if you've learned leadership and maybe communication and teamwork from extracurricular activities, of course, you can put those things on your CV and explain what you've gained from there. From my point of view, I explain about internships because that's more stronger, than my extracurricular, because the internship was about the course I'm applying for. But extracurriculars were not. So that's how I play it out.
Meaning that the extracurricular should still be based on what you are interested in, and you shouldn't do a specific just because you see a friend doing that or because you see someone going into it. Yeah. Okay. About the SOP, that's the personal statement. What percentage of one's acceptance into a university is dependent on the kind of SOP they present? Do you think that the SOP plays a very major role? And if it plays a major role in the students receiving admission, what percentage of the whole acceptance percentage does the SOP, in your own view, kind of represent? Do you think it covers maybe 40 or 50 or it's 100%? What do you think?
That's interesting. Again, here, I think it depends on the level you are applying for, level of education. For masters and bachelors, the personal statement is very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. I think that it depends on the university and depends, on the course you're applying for. But from my point of view, I think that counts for, of course, everything matters, but that might count for about maybe 60 to 70% or 80%. It depends, really. It depends on, on how the university grades their students and what they basically take as important. Because there are so many things you must submit. If you're submitting two things, maybe a recommendation letter and a personal statement, those are only two things, right? So what I said was that if the university wants only two documents, maybe the personal statement and then the recommendations, then they can be like, okay, personal statement is, is important. It can be maybe 80%. But if they are asking about 5 documents, recommendation letter, CV, this, personal statement and other essays, then you see that, okay, from 100, it decreases to what? To about 40. You understand? Because they're getting so many documents. For PhD, I don't know, but what I've observed, your CV is more important than your personal statement. I mean, I've been looking for PhDs, and the first thing the person asks for is your CV. Hey, Annette, could you just send me your CV? Once they see my CV, they don't ask for my personal statement. Even if I'm talking to a professor, they look through my CV, not my personal statement. But but sometimes they do ask for motivation letter. And if they do that, they first check the CV and then they go to the motivation letter. I don't know why, but I think they take the CV to be extremely important than a personal statement for PhDs. That's my experience. I don't know how it's done because I don't have so much experience there, but that's what I've seen. I've talked to professors, they just ask me, Annette, when is your CV? After that, they make the decision. And I'm like, oh, I didn't write anything. Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. Mm-hmm. Meaning that for the concentrate more on the CV.
Yeah, okay. Mainly on the CV, but it depends on the professor. Some of them want to see your passion, from that personal statement. If they're not satisfied with your CV.
So it's been actually, a great interview, looking at how you've kind of broken down the kind of scholarships that there are, the SOPs, and then the extracurriculars. These are the very important things that most students around the world need to have information about. For now, we just want to know something small about you. You seem to be a very motivated person.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So what really that's one thing I want to know. What really inspires you?
What inspires me? Before I go to that, I wanted to add that it's important, apart from extracurricular and all that, it's important to get involved in some leadership, positions, leadership opportunities. Yeah, that also helps you out. Leadership, extracurricular, and then academics, they go together. So I go to answer a question, which is what motivates me. Wow, this is a very hard question because it's so broad, I get motivated in various ways. First of all, I try my best to make sure that each year I have some people I have helped I just try to see that I make their lives better in one way or the other. And each year I see somebody who is succeeding and I'm like, wow, I contributed to that. That's amazing. That motivates me. And then anytime I wake up, I don't have any problem with my body. I am fine. I am healthy and all that. I'm like, wow, I am happy. I am going to do great things. So many things are happening around the world. There is stress. There are people who don't like you. There's this, you know, people who are jealous of you. This is happening. But hey, as long as I'm alive, I'll beat you live. So slowly. And then looking at what I've achieved. You know, I'm a person who doesn't compare myself to other people, but I compare my years. For example, this is 2022. I have a list of things I have to achieve in this 2022. You understand? So if I compare 2021 to 2022, I'm the happiest person. I got my master's degree with a distinction from Oxford. I've been getting support from my professors. I have friends. I have people around me. I am connected. I can get help from so many people. So I'm like, compared to 2020, I'm far better in terms of connections, academic, in terms of, you know, academics, the level is a little bit higher. I'm fine. And mentally, I've become better, you know, in terms of seeing the world. So 2022 will definitely be better because I've planned to do new things and also become better in various ways. So those things motivate me in various ways.
That's great, especially seeing how you kind of develop every year, no matter how small the development is, since it's progress. Now, I also want to talk about your YouTube channel. We have just about 7 or 8 minutes to wrap up. So you have a YouTube actually gone on the channel and you are doing really amazing stuff on the channel.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I was so surprised for you to contact me. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. I was like, what? Thank you so much.
What you do on your YouTube channel, your YouTube name, so that all of the viewers go onto your channel and consider or follow the stuffs you've been posting. They are really great content that I believe that will be very beneficial to everyone, both male and female. So kindly start with your YouTube name and give us a very brief description of what you do on your channel.
Oh, thank you so much. You're also doing great work. You know, I love your amino acids. I'm a biologist. So, you know, when I say things that align in my brain, I was like, I love this. Yeah, you're doing amazing. So, my channel is called Annet Nakkazi. And there I do mainly talk about, you know, my experiences abroad, life lessons, and then opportunities. You know, I talk about, you know, scholarships and all that, and even things that are happening in my life. You know, I'm a person who wants to share, you know, everything that I think is important to people. So I keep on sharing all those things, you know, on my channel. And I also, you know, I just share whatever I want, provided it's not something abusive or that. I share all that. It might be taking you through, you know, writing a personal statement, writing for an essay for a scholarship, such as Common Wealth, you know, introducing to various scholarships in Japan or in the UK. So I talk about so many things, you know, and currently I'm visiting various universities. Maybe one day I'll be in Ghana. I'll be at your university and I'll be interviewing you. Yeah, so and now I mainly talk about Ugandan universities because I'm in Uganda and I want to, you know, people to know Ugandan universities. So I am visiting all the Ugandan universities and I'm doing interviews with the various amazing people, especially ladies in science or leadership, or ladies in science and leadership. Yeah, mainly that. Yeah, and thank you so much for allowing me to introduce it to your viewers.
That's great. That's great. And in fact, it was even on your YouTube channel where I saw your personal statement or the statement of purpose that you used to apply to Oxford, and it was superb. Seriously, the whole organization and how you took into consideration the death of your relative from cancer that led to you gaining interest, and you wanted to understand how these diseases do come up and how they can be, you know, combated and all that. That's really amazing. Now let's quickly talk about the most loved topics you like in biology, mathematics, physics, and chemistry. Very short one.
Okay, in biology, I love about let me say cellular and molecular, and there I just, you know, love, you know, cellular development, you know, how the cells, you know, develop, grow, divide. I love those things, you know. And then biology is broad. So I'm also, you know, developing this, you know, huge passion for immunobiology, the immune system. Yeah, so I'm loving that so much. So mainly cancer biology, cellular and molecular, and immunology. Those are the things that are coming up, that just stay with me and just feel like, yeah, this is my biology. And then in physics, I don't actually have any specific topic I liked from physics, but I loved, when I was at high school, I loved the pendulum bob, if you remember, if you know that thing anyway. You were a chemist and a biologist, so yeah.
Remember that.
I hope I didn't offend you. Yeah, for chemistry, I love inorganic chemistry. I love that so much. Mathematics, I love pure mathematics. Yeah, those small numbers, solve quickly. You solve this, click done. Solve this, click done. I don't like applied mathematics. No, I don't like that. It becomes so complicated with very hard equations, and I'm like,
So before we go, I want to ask you about 3 more questions, then we end it up. My first question is, what are your last words, or what are your advices to the youth out there, more specifically young females, who think that they can't reach a certain height for whatever reasons, whether the reasons being financial reasons or no matter the reason they can have? What do you think, what is your advice to these individuals?
I would say they obviously let them work hard, but there's a difference between working hard when you know that you don't have people who can help you to get what you want after that, and when you know that you have people who can help you out to get what you want after that. So let them work hard, but that should be combined with supporting people who can help them to go to next steps. I am telling you, there are so many people who are capable. There are so many people who are working so hard to achieve what they want to achieve, but they don't have access to resources. And people around them are not willing enough to help them get the resources. So they should try their best to identify people who can help them out, and they approach them formally to see if they can, help them out. It's all about people. This world is all about people. Even if they do their best and they will try so hard, but in the end, they'll be like, oh, I got this, but I can't go anywhere because I don't have a person to write for me a recommendation. I don't have a person to teach me how to write an essay for a scholarship. I don't have a person to help me with this. So identifying people who can help them out, to help them, in various ways is extremely important. And then perseverance, no doubt, every girl, even males, every person faces challenges, but the moment you set your brain to just, think that I cannot, just leave this, just can't, that's when, things become easier for you. If you just,
Yes, I'm following.
Perfect.
Following.
If you think that by leaving something you're gonna be all right, that's just a lie. It's all about persistence. Of course, you'll even value it more. After facing all those challenges, you value it more. So whatever happens, always stick to it, unless it becomes extreme. There are various challenges you face, and you're like, this is extreme. And please, if it's extreme, don't be like, oh, I think they said I should be persistent, I should be here, I should be there. No, if it's dangerous to your life, leave, run like you've never run before. Run and go to a safer place. Yeah, run. Be persistent, but you should be safe enough. Yeah, be safe enough. That's what I think. Yeah, hard work, persistence, and people.
Yes, and in fact, in order to add up to what you said, that the whole world is all about people, you made this post on Instagram that anyone at all can always reach whatever feat or whatever achievement they want to reach, provided they have the right resources and the right connection. Right? That's what you said. I also believe that no matter the feats or no matter the height or achievement you want to reach, provided it's a realistic goal, you can always reach it. You just need to work, not just to work hard, but you need to work smart, because you can work hard in the opposite direction, but you can work smart Why they are working smart, it means they are working in the right direction.
Yeah,
My last question.
Those go together, smart and hard. Go on, please.
We can never have this amazing conversation without talking about cancer. Yes, because that's your field and that's something that you're so enthusiastic about, and you're a very great proponent of cancer. That's oncology treatment. So, as you videos, which is something I've also known, that the cancer cells do continue to, mutate. And because you remember you mentioned in one of your interviews with you're explaining one of your interviews with the Super Soul Sisters that the cancer continue to mutate, and because of that, whatever medications that are introduced to help combat a particular kind of this cancer disease, they end up not being effective since the cells kind of mutate, right? Yes. That was on my mind, was like, is it possible that this mutation of the cells could be inhibited or could be stopped?
Oh, okay. Now I understand. From my point of view, I don't think so. I don't think that they can be, inhibited because, you see it's normal, right? We can't see what's happening inside the person's body, right? So how can you say, oh, let me let me stop this mutation? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible because we get exposed to various toxic substances. We walk in various toxic environments. So we don't know what's going on until we see the symptoms of what has happened after all those mutations happened. Because when you get that mutation, it doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer. The mutation can be repaired. It can be repaired or fixed by various specific highly controlled mechanisms. You understand? But you see the impact later on. If the mutation was not repaired, you see that impact later on, and you're like, Of course, when you see that, you try to think about various drugs or therapies you can develop, to kind of either stop or reduce the impact of that mutation. You understand? Depending on the drug, the effectiveness and the strength of the drug you have developed. And that's very hard, to be honest. Very, very hard. Yeah, because cancer is becoming extremely stubborn.
They are very stubborn indeed. And in fact, finally, you spoke about Professor Catherine Marie Vozinen, who is into flash radiotherapy. We can't end the interview without talking about her. When you spoke about her interview with Super Soul Sisters, I was like, okay, let me go and check out this professor that Anne is talking. I went online to check out her, and she's doing really amazing.
Oh my goodness, she's so kind, so smart, and oh my God, I adore her so much. The first time I talked to her, I was not feeling good, and I found her on Twitter, and I was like, hello, Professor Vozinin, and she responded right away, and I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for responding to me, and she was like, come on, the future is in the younger generation, and I was like, boom. I felt so happy. I mean, how can a person with such titles who has done a lot of work, say such a thing to me, a baby bump or something like that? I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I loved her so much, and until now, I love her. I love her work, and I'm so happy that I got to know her.
Yeah. So so it's been a really great interview with how you've been able to make time of all your busy schedules to have this interview with us today. I believe that this interview that we've had is actually going to help so many viewers who are planning to, go in for scholarships, either abroad or probably in their countries. It's going to help them know the best protocols to follow in order to achieve that height. Also, it's going to help other viewers who think that they can't reach some particular height because of probably where they come from. Maybe whether it's been a village and they think that they can't succeed. You're a very great example that no matter where you come from, you can always reach whatever height you want to reach. So I'd like to officially thank you for making time to have this interview with us. And I also hope that the flash radiotherapy, which has been implemented to help combat cancer, actually becomes a reality, and so that someday no one kind of, faces these adverse effects of cancer. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And now I'll go back to do my work. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.